Man, Juan, 6 week back. Feels good. We just wrapped up a seminar that went really great. We even saw some new faces, or I saw a couple new faces this time around. So that was really awesome. In that seminar, we were all reading part of the passage that you had for us. And funny enough, I started with like vision or my eyes. As a photographer, I mentioned to everybody else, as a photographer, I picked up a camera from a very early age because what I saw in the world, I understood that was much different than what other people might see. And that was simply because when I would look at other people's paintings or art, it looked so intriguing, but it was something that even though it was familiar, let's say like a building or a Statue of Liberty comes to mind that I saw once as a kid, and it's like, wow, that was captured. Like, how could I recreate that? But then when I would go to it, it never came out the same. And then eventually, I f- I embraced that, the fact that my pictures or my vision was different than everybody else's. And so everyone else had different passages that they resonated or they were speaking about. Maybe if we could touch a little bit more on that part of the passage, vision, and how much different everybody else's is. And as a collective, we make this world what it is.
Well, that's so powerful because even though when you look through a camera's lens, you see something different that someone else's mind sees. So, as an artist, you're always going to see what you see, and someone else is going to see something different because, as individuals, as human beings, we are all unique, we are all different. Our genetic makeup is different. If twins are born, they got different fingerprints. Not even twins are the same. Now, let's also add what we are exposed to in our environments. No two human beings have the same experiences in life. So, whatever we're absorbing through our senses, those experiences, wherever we see, wherever we touch, wherever we smell, wherever we taste, wherever we listen to, it's going to create different energy within all of us. It's going to resonate different. Then there's what we consciously absorb, what we choose to pay attention to. But there also is what our unconscious mind absorbs. And there's so many things that it absorbs without us even knowing. We are all vessels, and our conscious minds are the filters of what we see directly. But our subconscious and unconscious mind, which is the same thing, it registers everything. It doesn't discriminate at all. What does that mean? That means that it's picking up that light, it's picking up that sound, it's picking up the environment, the paintings, the plants, the words on any frame or any poster, and you're unaware of it. When you go to see a show on Broadway, there's what you're paying attention to, but regardless of, your subconscious mind is picking up everything. When you go to a restaurant, right? That's a world that someone created from what they see, from what their experiences are, from what they put together with their culinary backgrounds, with their life experiences, and that's their creation. When you go to a gym, every gym owner has a different view, so they create something different. And that's what's so powerful. But where is it that those thoughts and ideas come from? That comes from the ocean that is our unconscious and subconscious mind of everything we've ever collected up to date. And it is so powerful because what happens when you become aware of that and you start intentionally feeding your subconscious and unconscious minds? What happens when you're reading all the greatest books, all the classics? You're reading from all the greats, all the autobiographies. What happens when you're watching every Broadway show, every ballet, every opera? You go to Carnegie Hall to go listen to the orchestras. You go to the Met to go see the Picassos and all the different artists, all the different type of arts. You go get to see and experience history in front of you. What happens when you find high-level individuals to have high-level conversations and dialogues with, to share thinking, and that's called group thinking. What happens when you go and you create environments of groups of people, which is high-level conversations in a group setting, sharing ideas, expressing what they know? How much are you adding to yourself? And then remember that every single breath you take is a brand new you. And what does that mean? That every single time I go back to a book that I've already read, I'm going to understand different things from it. I'm going to gather new insights from it. Because it's not the old me who's reading this book, it's the new me. And that's with the accumulated data that I've collected in my subconscious and unconscious mind. So I can come to Gift and have a brand new experience every single time. Because no matter what, it's a new me, but also all the people around. Life itself, the flow of it is that it's forever changing. So when you're aware of this, you're always connected to the flow. So when you do even the same things, those are still new experiences because it's never the old you. Now, when you understand this, how do you expand on that? Then you go start doing new experiences that you don't know, that you are completely unaware of. See, because when I come to Gift, this is part of my knowing. So it's a new experience, but it's something I know. What happens when something's a new experience and I don't know? How alert is my unconscious mind? How much more am I collecting? But the beauty of it is that when I go back to my environment, which is Gift, then I'm able to come back with more as a new me, and I'm able to share with everyone what I've discovered. Therefore, what happens when you have a community of people who are constantly gathering new experiences and bringing them back to the same place? And we're sharing in these seminars and dialogues. The reason why I had everyone tonight read and state what they saw is to show how vast we all are. Because our subconscious and unconscious minds, the depth of it is like the ocean. And our conscious mind is the river that flows and that articulates the meaning of that depth. So when it comes to you, and we're talking about when you do videography and photography, we're getting your flow, your connection to the depth of your subconscious. And throughout all these years of everything you've ever accomplished, every single picture you've ever taken, every video you've recorded, what your eyes have been collecting, the windows to your soul and your spirit. And then art is born. But the beautiful part of us as a human being, as a collective, that is a collective consciousness. So we are all creators, and we are always building on the old ideas and taking them further and reintroducing them to the world anew through our interpretation. Because we are all artists. But the ultimate form of art, the ultimate goal of art, of being a creator, an artist, a renaissance man or woman, is to bring to the world what has never been done. Because we can all do what anyone's ever done before. That's the possible. So if someone's done it before, it can be done again. And whatever you've done, it can never be undone. But what happens when you're the first to represent a brand new idea that's never existed? That's greatness. If Elon Musk gets us to Mars, he's doing what's never been done, the impossible. When Jeff Bezos created Amazon, he did what's never been done, the impossible, the ultimate distribution system. Give Fitness, the impossible we are going to achieve in our near future is supermodels and super leaders. People that with courage and confidence do the right thing all the time. People that choose to live their own personal highest ideal of morality. What is right and just to them without obstructing the world around them. The reason we say supermodel is because we inspire not by telling others what to do. We inspire through our actions and contributions to the world. We inspire by what we do. We show people a better way by the way we respond to our obstacles, our challenges, how we respond to life itself. We choose to be the highest and best version of ourselves no matter what's in front of us. So always pick joy. So always pick happiness. Now, I am not saying that someone is wrong if that's not what they choose. If someone chooses to be unhappy, that's okay and they're right for that choice. But we are also right for our choice, for our decision to be happy, to be healthy, to be confident, to inspire others, to believe that everything in life must be easy, must be done correctly so that it is enjoyable. Easy, correct, and enjoyable. That when we develop our awareness through our physical fitness and we make our energy better, we're also doing the same with our mental fitness. But the mental fitness isn't just concentration and focus. It's also the level of thoughts that we decide to hold on to. What we decide to visualize. Emotional fitness is how we respond to the world with joy and happiness. To choose not to react and give in to our lower emotions. And not that there's anything wrong with that, because if that's your way, that's okay. Because everyone has the right to decide and to choose what's their way. But what I will say, there's nothing wrong with being happy. Try it. Try it. See what happens. See what happens when you choose to smile. See what happens when you choose to do good. See what happens when you choose virtues, principles to live by. See what happens when you choose discipline. And the beautiful part about that is that when you do good for others, others do good for you. To be aware is to be connected to the environment around you completely. Not self-absorbed in you, but to be connected to the potential and the possibility of every individual. And again, bad things will happen in life. It's a part of it. Others will do bad, but don't get pulled in. Don't let them deceive you. Don't let their arrogance stain you. Let it pass. Let it go. Because once you fall into that trap, then you're going to live that type of life. Yes, you have to be open. And yes, the bad will happen. But if you close yourself off because bad happens, then you're going to miss the good opportunities because good also happens. Your mind is going to look for whatever you choose, whatever you decide, whatever your self-talk is. When things happen, it's because you have conditioned your own mind to find it. If you decide that you're going to become the next Jeff Bezos, your mind is going to find a way, but you have to really believe it. And you have to then make it your one thing. But only you can see it. See, talent, right? Talent hits what everyone can see, but not everyone can hit. But the beauty about an artist, a genius, is that he hits or she hits what nobody can see. So it takes unwavering faith and belief in what your gift and your contribution is to the world. Because nobody will be able to see it. But work so hard on developing what it is that you see that it becomes so valuable to the world. That because what you're trying to do is move the needle forward. And the goodness and the greatness that is humanity, that the world will open up to receive your gift. So no matter what, you have to continue to feed yourself through great books, through great dialogues, great experiences, great art. Everything that is amazing and great about humanity. Go perceive it. Go absorb it. Embody it. And eventually, when you're used to seeing so much greatness, you'll only see the greatness of the world. And then you'll be able to see with compassion and empathy in the middle. What does that mean? That means that no longer will you let the emotional states of those around you pull you in. And when things do happen to you directly, one of my favorite quotes, I want to say it's Camus. I'm going to paraphrase it. During this winter, I found an invisible summer. Invincible summer. It is when we are tested that we become our best. It is when we are challenged that we become our best. It is when we get up that the best lessons happen. I've lived a lot. I've failed a lot. I've lost a lot. But that is what has shaped me to be here in front of you today. To tell you that the impossible is possible. Because where I came from, this is impossible. What I've chosen is impossible. My joy is impossible. But yet I stand before you today to tell you that it is possible because I did it. It is possible to live this life as an artist, as a creator. I've been painting for 5 years. What's going to happen when I've been painting for 10? What would I see then? What's going to happen when I've been painting for 15, 20? What would I see then? Because I am not going to stop absorbing and embodying everything that is great of this world. I'm not going to stop being inspired. I'm not going to stop loving. And I'm not going to stop developing my personal greatness, the greatness of those around me, the greatness of those who I'm impacting, even indirectly, and learning from the greatness of the past. That's the only thing I'm going to continue to feed my subconscious and unconscious mind so that I can continue to see more and more and more And the more I see, the more I can create and the more I can manifest. The more I can do for others. The more I can instill and empower others. The more I can teach. The more I can develop humanity as a whole. Because it gets to a point that you no longer want to be remembered by what you have, but instead by how much you give. It's the art of giving. See what happens. See what happens when you make the decision to give and contribute to anyone you come across throughout your day. See how the miracles are born. Connect that ocean of greatness that's inside you to the flow of life and the awareness of everything that's around you.
I want to dive in a little deeper into the conscious and the unconscious. What exactly, maybe in your case, what insights do you take from any time a thought from your unconscious all of a sudden becomes like, oh man, like I've known this all along? This was always there. I wonder where, like, do you reflect on these things? Do you go back and try to figure out where your mind might have picked those things up? I'm curious to know.
So at this point, for me, my unconscious thoughts, they're like revelations. They direct me. Whenever it comes, whenever it hits, I just follow it. I follow it and I take action right away. What it means to be aware is to see the possibilities and the potentials in everything. Therefore, when you get a great thought, the question is, how fast can I turn this thought, this idea, into reality? And does it push the needle forward to what my aspirations in life are when it comes to our vision and mission? So as soon as it happens, I go with it. That thought can be to empower another leader. That thought could be to share something with a peer. That thought could not even be for me. It could be for another organizations that I have a good relationship with, and it's an idea having to do with their industry and their business. It's I call it my energy. It's where I send it. And every single time I'm sending energy, I'm planting seeds of possibilities, of what can be, of what can be born. And with each possibility, what happens over the years, it's incredible. Then, as you are sending all this energy, as you send energy, eventually fruit is born from that energy. Eventually, as you're sending opportunity all over, or you're constructing solutions for others, or you're contributing to others' organizations, because I'm giving starts the act of receiving. So because I'm thinking of them, when they see an opportunity that's for me, they're thinking of me. To be connected to the flow of life, to that river, you really have to synchronize with others. As human beings, you are your heart. It doesn't matter whether you're wealthy or poor or a celebrity, or it doesn't matter what your title in life is. Your heart is still your heart. So if someone has a heart for malevolence and bad, that's who they are. Doesn't matter what title they hold. Someone has a heart for contribution and the doing of good, that's who they are. That's their heart. So as I go and I go on my adventures and I travel the world, I'm looking to synchronize and synergize with good hearts. People who have the right disposition of their hearts, who have good discernment and judgment. People who are living their lives from wisdom, especially if it's already their own self-attained life wisdom. Because that means that they've experienced enough, that have learned valuable lessons, that have created their values and principles for their life and the way they live it. Imagine that world where you guys are only doing good. Imagine that world where you're establishing relationships that you only build and create together. What we have today is that so many people are looking to make off on this deal that they don't think, hey, I'll do this deal for free. I'll give. I even do this next deal for free. Even the one after that. Even the one after that. And I still won't ask for anything. And then the next thing you know, you get a text or a phone call. Juan, yo, I got this great opportunity for gift. I got a great contract for you. Right up your alley. Something you helped me with before. This is perfect for you. Happens to me all the time. I've been giving for 5 years. At this point in time in my life, the opportunities, they either email me, they text me, or they call me. I don't have to go searching anymore. I don't go looking. And I have the best relationships in the world because I've been collecting good people for a long time. Gift has been around for 5 years. I've been working on this for 20. Because everything that's happened in my life, I've been a good man all my life. I've been adding value to others all my life. Because that's my heart. It's my nature. And I'm blessed that every obstacle, every challenge, I never let it stain me. I never let bitterness grow inside me. Instead, I took the lessons and grew from them. Those trials, I endured them until I became strong enough to overcome them. And then life tells me I'm ready for more. Life says you can manage that now? Okay, here you go. Here's a little more. Now you can manage a little more. Because when you really understand purpose, and purpose means to do for others, you understand that it's really service. It's about serving the world. It's about serving people. The dynamic complexity of people is complicated. And people, yes, they are logical, but they are also very instinctual and emotional. So those instincts, those emotions, you have to be strong enough to help them see. And notice why I didn't say to control them. I didn't say to order them around. I said to help them see, to help develop them. Because as people, all we need is some guidance. But who takes the time to guide people? Who takes the time to teach? Who takes the time to add value? It's not their fault that they can't see what you can see. It's not their fault that their parents couldn't see enough to empower them to see more. So what do? Do we just give up? No. You give. You help. You develop. The purpose of life is to leave it better than the way you found it. And, from my personal experience, when you help develop and add value to that many people, when you help them see, the joy that you get from watching them grow is priceless. And not because of what they can do for you, because that's the problem. It's the problem we have with the world, that it's like, if I do this for you, what are you going to do for me? No, do just to do. You see, like, the wind, it just blows. The rain just pours. The sun just shines. Just shine. Shine because you shine. Because that's what you do. You're not, no expectations. I don't expect none. Even me as a human being, I don't expect nothing. Because when you start having expectations and disappointments are born, don't expect nothing. Accept where they're at and help them. And be able to identify what stage of life they are in. And when things happen and they are unfair, remember that that's a blessing that's shaping you, making you stronger, making you better at your purpose. Therefore, the more things you handle, guess what? Just to give people an idea, when you get a contract that, it's worth a lot of money and it's for a long, period of time, it's because you're a consultant that knows how to make things happen. When you're called in to be a consultant, whether it's for DOE, whether it's for multi-million-dollar corporation, it doesn't matter for what organization, it's because you are a problem solver. If they knew how to do it, they wouldn't be calling you in. So let me give you guys an amazing tip. When you go in there, go and listen to what they need. What are their needs? How do you meet their needs? Just because you know the answer doesn't mean that they can see it. So if they can't see it, and this is the way they want you to handle it, it is up to you to be an artist and a creator and paint a picture that is in their view, but with the solution intact. And whatever you do, don't say it doesn't work or it's too hard. It just hasn't been created yet. You've been brought in there to create it. Go create it. Go have fun. Enjoy that process. And the more problems you solve, the more complex problems you solve, guess what? Those phone calls is bigger contracts. It's bigger things. Enjoy it. Enjoy adding so much value to others that you get called for the toughest and biggest of challenges. The ones that their magnitudes are like a regular person could never imagine doing it. And then figure it out. And enjoy that process. Have fun. Crap, write a book about it. That's the beauty of it. As a collective consciousness, as humanity, we continue to grow. We continue to expand. Don't be a thinker, be a knower. Because you've done. Because you've explored. Because you have achieved. And then go encourage others to do the same. Let them know that we're no different. This title, these achievements, we're no different. I just made a decision. And yes, it can be hard. And yes, you are right. But it can also be easy. And I am also right. I'm not trying to tell you that your way or my way. I'm just telling you I understand you. And I hope that you understand me. Because I really enjoy all the processes and all the systems and procedures and practices in my life. Imagine when you create a world for yourself that way. And at the same time that same world also belongs to others and others feel the same way you do. It's a beautiful life. It's a beautiful archetype.
We've circled back on these ideas of pouring into yourself through reading, the environment, which I understand is what's helped you be this positive person, be someone that's willing to give, to be vulnerable. And for those people that are out there that don't see, I mean, they might be younger, they might be older, they don't find themselves, maybe they feel negative, like, no, I can't give anything. I don't have anything to offer. I am a negative person. Like, why would anybody listen to me? Is there anything that we could give?
I'm so glad you said that. You don't know what you don't know. So please stop thinking that you know. Try it and then tell me that this is not the way. Experience it and then tell me that this is not the way. But if you don't attempt, if you don't take action, you'll never know anything different. When you continue to live that familiar present, you're going to continue with the same outcome and result with that familiar future. You need to do what you do not know. You need to do what's unfamiliar to you. And yes, it does feel uncomfortable, but it's the only place where you're going to find that unfamiliar future, that different outcome. And yes, it comes with work and practice, but it's a part of life. And more importantly, don't do it for anyone else. Do it for yourself because you deserve it. You deserve to feel different. You deserve to think different. You deserve to learn what wasn't taught to you. Unfortunately, yes, you have to fight for it. Yes, you have to work hard for it. Yes, you have to earn it. But think about the gratitude and the appreciation you're going to have when you reach that pinnacle of success that comes with fulfillment, because you know what it's like not to have it. Believe it or not, you are ahead. Because if you're born into it, if you are born without knowing what is the struggle, if you're born without understanding uncertainty, if you're born and you have to earn it, what value does it have? So you have an opportunity to really attain meaning and fulfillment in life, to really value having, because you start with nothing. But if you start with everything, it's so much harder to help them see the value in their positions and in ideas. They might talk about the idea, oh, I know people have it harder. They might talk about the idea about, oh, I know I'm lucky. I know I'm very fortunate compared to others, but they don't know. They don't know. The day I have kids, they're going to have to earn everything. I'm not giving them nothing. I'm a giver, but I'm giving them nothing. They're all going to work in restaurants and they're going to have to earn everything. And what I promise them is a modest life. It doesn't matter how big Give Fitness gets, they're going to live a normal life. Because from my experience, they need to know what it is to be normal so they can appreciate having. And my promise to them is that I'm never going to give them anything. They have to earn everything. They're going to have to work in restaurants, and they cannot work for me. And I'm not going to do them any favors about getting them work. I want to say I'm going to give them 5 years to go feel it. 5 years sounds about right. They need to know what it's like to be normal. Because the biggest gift I can give to my future kids is meaning and fulfillment. To know what it is to have to earn and to find the gratification in earning. to help them develop good hearts to the best of my ability, because that it's not within my power. But what I do promise is to use all my wisdom and information to create the right environments so that they can develop meaning fulfillment. I don't care how successful they become. I don't care about what they do. I care that they are living fulfilled lives within them, that they are happy with who they are, that they're able to tap into who they are, that they know what uncertainty is, so that in that way they may find the fortitude to develop their courage and confidence. That's what I promise my future kids.
That's one important promise right there. I could say that's by far the most important thing that we could give to them. In my case, having a son, it's like the only thing that I want for him is to be able to like be able to walk out to the world and feel authentic, feel like, wow, I'm special. I'm here for a reason. Let me rejoice in that. So that's amazing. I applaud you for wanting to do that, because I feel like that's all we should be doing. And I feel like, unfortunately, there's a lot of people that haven't been afforded that reality, whether it's, like we said, circling back, either it's environment, or maybe that understanding consciously or subconsciously from their parents wasn't there. So unfortunately, there's no way for them to grasp it. And for some of us, even if it wasn't there all the way or not at all, something, call it serendipity or anything else that you want to call it, led us to the point where we realized and we became conscious and aware of our surroundings, and we took action in our lives. And that's amazing to be able to do. You know what I mean? I kind of want to veer a little bit. I'm curious to know what you think about this idea of a muse, or an individual, anything like a spirit or something that moves you, that's like lights a fire in you. You're in the gym and you just got an extra 5 reps in, or however many reps in, because of the thought of, I call it like this camera that you feel like is watching you, that's observing you, and you just can't stop yourself to like, all right, I just got to go just a bit harder. How do you feel about that? Maybe what can you like give an insight into on that?
It's all around you. Nature, life, humanity, that is your muse. It happens all day long. You just have to be aware. You just have to be paying attention. Today, Leslie shows up. He says, I made the opportunity. I took it. I asked him, and this opportunity's been there this whole time, but I finally was like, today's the day. I woke up and I was like, I know what I have to do. That right there feeds me. And when he asked to come here, he asked for a position here. In my mind, we don't have positions open. But when someone has a heart like that, a position was available today. It opened up. Then he shows up to the seminar too, after working. I asked him, hey, what did you think? He wasn't even surprised. He said exactly what he expected. A room full of greatness, with dialogues of greatness and great ideas. Somebody never being here before gave up a shift to experience and was grateful. And then proceeds to tell me, no, the value that you guys gave tonight is more than anything a shift will ever give me. So of course, oh yeah, you're gonna one up me? All right, you got a week for free. And then to see the joy on her face light up and see the gratitude, see the shock, for her to use the word serendipity, and for those connections to be happening. They happen in front of us all the time. They happen all day long. It's not just when you're training. It happens just as life goes. But are you aware? And understand that if you don't catch that awareness, that moment, it's gone. You miss it. But know that every day brings new awareness. So be more open, pay more attention, take advantage of those opportunities, see the potential in them, and take action. Because that's what it takes. Just action. You have to move. You have to grab it. You have to seize it. If you want to be happy, it's not about attaining it. It's not where the joy lies. It's the pursuit of happiness. It's the chase that's fun. It's the chase that's fun. That's what's exhilarating. That's what's exciting. Because the unknown is in the chase. The unknown, what we don't know, is in the pursuit of that because we don't know it. That's why when you attain happiness, is momentarily. So the feeling you really have to focus on is joy. Unconditional love and joy. In our vision, we say health, happiness, and confidence, but that's because we understand the pursuit of happiness. It's not to be happy, but to pursue it. And then the happiness is unlimited. That's the secret. So what happens when you improve daily in that pursuit? What happens when you're earning that best version of yourself every day? What happens when your goal is a lifelong goal? It's never ending. It's endless. That pursuit is endless. That happiness is endless. Because you know you're moving in that direction, that one direction. And there's going to be different goals, different opportunities as you go along the way. But you're always building on top. And every single time you go on a new adventure, guess what happens? The foundation gets stronger. So nothing's ever lost. So even when the deal goes bad, it doesn't go bad because your foundation is stronger. So everything's only getting better. The reality of life, it's always getting better. But like we spoke about perception and view, what do you choose? What do you decide? Because if I say it's hard, it's hard. But if I say it's easy, it's easy. So imagine when you do what's hard and it feels hard until it's easy. Imagine when you change to change, not to see the change. And then you understand and you come at the realization that that's when you see the change.
It's major. I mean, the pursuit of happiness, it's like, how could we connect that maybe in the relationship aspect? I feel like in some at some moment that pursuit of happiness is there, and then there's a plateau almost, it feels like.
I'm so glad you said that because that plateau in the relationship is only there when we stop giving effort to it. The idea that once you attain a relationship and you don't have to put in effort anymore, that's what ruins all relationships. People stop working on them. The same way you work on yourself is the same way you have to work on your relationship. Too many people take their relationships for granted. The most beautiful thing in this world is the fact that somebody chose you. That somebody only chose to see you. That they don't see anything else. Like, it's like this. They can't see left and they can't see right. They can only see you. Unfortunately, people take it for granted. Unfortunately, they think they have unlimited choices. But time is not unlimited. So the real truth is, who will you find that will spend the lifetime with you? Who's going to get to know you, to know your knowing, and you're going to know their knowing. And that you're going to continue to put in the effort to continuously keep falling in love with each other. Because as you grow, as you become different people, as time goes on, you are born anew. But what happens when the same way you work on your career and your work and yourself, you also work like that with your relationship. Now, notice I ain't say to work on your partner. It's your partner's responsibility to work on herself from a male perspective, and vice versa, same thing. You're not responsible for your partner. Your partner's work is your partner's work. You're only responsible for your work. But what you guys together are responsible for is the relationship, the connection, the resonance. You're not here to take someone's load, and you're not here to give someone a load. Because that's not a relationship. A relationship isn't codependency. Like, oh, I'm down today, so I need to lean on you. Or vice versa. No, a relationship is communication. Hey, this is what's happening in my life. Thank you for listening. And then if you have the means to give the support, you give it. But not at the expense of yourself, because that's not a relationship. A relationship tells you it's going to be hard, but take care of yourself, because by you taking care of yourself, you're going to grow into a person who's going to be able to help me. But instead, people handle things outside their capacity, and then they fall, and then you build resentment. If you really want to do a relationship right, you have to build yourself. And your partner has to build themselves. And when things happen, yes, together, but never at the expense of yourself. Because if you want to help them, you cannot sacrifice yourself. It's the opposite. What you can do is decide to rise and do more. See what I'm saying? And become more, so you can help them. But not at the expense of you, because if you're sacrificing, you're both down. That's the misconception. And then continue to work on the relationship. Now, if you can afford the vacations, the dates, the dinners, amazing. But if you can't, then the only thing you need to do, the effort, is called communication and time. But presently, they want to be in your presence. They want to be there with you. If you're too busy with your life, that's not going to work. And for myself, I didn't always know this. And I can speak from experience. I lost some amazing people because I wasn't aware back then. But I've learned. So today I share what my mistakes were. So that way that others can grow. And they can develop and do more. But make sure every single week you take time to be present. That's all they need. If you're presently there, if they know that you're handling business, but you make time to presently be there, they're going to appreciate it. And then when you guys have conversations and dialogues, forget about being right and wrong. Forget about it. Instead, focus on understanding them and them understanding you. And be okay with not having to agree on everything. That's all right. You guys are two different spirits, two different souls. You guys have different perceptions, different views. That's okay. But just because you don't agree, don't become angry. Don't give anger fuel. Stay in your place of love. As long as there's open communication, as long as there's dialogue, there's always going to be a deepening of understanding. And learn to compromise. Learn what's worth it and learn what's not. Learn, hey, you gave last time, so I'm going to give today. And also be able to say I gave last time. It's only right that you give today. Because if you don't learn how to do that, you're not going to survive. Because if, let's say my partner, if I take, then there's resentment being built. And if I love that person, why am I making them resent me? And vice versa, if they love me, why are they making me resent them by me giving? The most beautiful things that you guys will ever share is the magic of knowing each other through all your stages of life. To always be able to refer to every memory, to every moment. But the beauty of it is you put effort. And if you understand effort, that once you put in so much effort and you work so hard, it becomes effortless. But the foundation has to be built first.
It's beautiful. We are what we believe, everyone.